Do I need to say this is Cities Decoded, episode 1?
Yeah, do it again.
This is Cities Decoded, episode 1. What am I saying? Hi, my name is Tiffany. I'm a writer who loves cities. I love reading and writing about them. I love thinking about how they work, what makes them work really well, what makes them not work really well. But one thing I've noticed, when I go to explain what I do to my friends, they kind of give me this look like, what are you even talking about? So I've decided to start this line of videos kind of explaining cities. And that's what we're here doing. This is Cities Decoded, episode 1. Growing up, I moved more than 20 times. I was always on the highway traveling around with my family. To me, highways seemed like an eternal fixture of the American city. But recently, I heard that some cities are starting to tear highways out. This got me curious, so I decided to do some research. Turns out, highways are super important. We have only had them for about 60 years, but in that time, they have significantly reshaped the American city. To understand the effect of highways in American cities, we have to go back to the 1930s. Government officials and the leaders of automobile companies began working together to design an interstate system. They had noticed that Americans weren't using public transit anymore. Instead, they were buying cars and using them to commute from their homes in the suburbs to their jobs in the cities. Unfortunately, local roads were not designed to handle this much traffic. Highways, it was believed, could solve this problem and launch America into the modern age. In 1956, President Eisenhower signed the Federal Aid Highway Act, which designated $25 billion for highway construction. Over the next 15 years, we got 42,500 miles of highways in America. But American highways were different in one distinct way. While highways in European cities went around cities, the highways we brought here went straight through cities, and this affected cities in 3 major ways.
All right, talk.
That's something really clever to say. One major effect of putting highways straight through cities is that it made it easier for middle and upper class residents to leave the city for surrounding suburbs, taking with them the resources that cities needed to thrive. A second major effect of putting highways straight through cities, they disrupted local travel patterns, forcing increased reliance on the car for small local trips. So now we're on the highway. We're going to Olneyville, which is a neighborhood super close to where I live. I shouldn't have to ride a highway to get there, but I am. Why are we getting on the highway? To go to a different neighborhood? I do not know, but we're almost there. A third major effect of putting highways through cities is that they destroyed and divided neighborhoods, many of them belonging to African American communities. Developers would convince city officials to mark these neighborhoods as blighted and then bulldoze them, destroying houses, schools, businesses, churches, and displacing up to 1 million people along the way. The good news is that some people are starting to think twice about the effect of highways in cities. Citizens and city planners in cities all over the country are actually advocating that we tear down parts of old, underused highways. There are 4 main benefits to tearing down old highways. It frees up land for development, reconnects divided neighborhoods, it improves safety, and it encourages a return to multimodal transportation. This is something that more and more cities are going to need to think about as highways reach the end of their design life. How do we design transportation systems that are creative and innovative, that connect people to each other in the places they want to go, that allow for multiple modes of transportation, and that are safe?